When we last left off, the party was investigating the Sedevkar simulation. They had made their way to Paris. They had been doing some investigating. They went to the Bibliothèque nationale, found some information, and they now have two options. They can make their way to the sanitarium, or they can search for the Count's villa in a place called Oisey.
Or we could research Yogg-Sothoth and his many cults. Or we could find out where those telegrams came from. Or we could research more about the Sedevkar simulacrum and scrolls. Yes. Or we could poke around looking for some Count. Do we want to do that now?
Look for what?
Poke around looking for the Count.
I thought you said poke around looking for an accountant.
Oh, no. We don't need one of those. Why would we ever need to roll that skill?
You will never need to roll the accounting skill in this game. Again.
Yes.
Unless I make no promises.
Page 304, yeah, there's a minor thing here. Is operate heavy machinery in there? Well, actually, there's a train, so it might actually have a use.
Roll to not die, yeah. There's...
Yep. Well, every skill can be a roll or not die in this game.
There was actually a part you missed entirely that, you know what, it doesn't say it, but if you had offered to use said skill in that situation, I would have let you roll it.
Was it finding out who made the ghost train in the first place?
No, it may have been stopping a crash course of said train.
That would involve taking that train. It's fine. He'll be fine with that train. I'm sure he won't let it run as an interest piece at any point in the future.
Let's get the most out of the library as possible so we can stop doing library use checks.
Almost all you can.
Not really. We haven't learned anything about the Sedevkar simulacrum or scrolls, which is the whole reason we came here. Or anything about Yogg-Sothoth, apart from the fact he's some evil deity.
Alright, let's learn about these scrolls.
And let's see if we're being followed.
Alright.
I succeed. 74 out of 75.
100.
Fail.
Utter failure.
In fact, you think you're being followed, but then it's just him.
I succeed my spot hidden.
Yeah, you spot that street rat still following you.
Ah, okay.
Is anyone else following us, though?
Not that you can tell.
Alrighty. So, library use?
Any chance we could lose the street rat following us? Just for giggles.
Well, suggest a check.
Probably sneak. Which I'm terrible at.
I don't know, you crit the astrology roll.
There's also like a sneaky somewhere. I remember there's a hide and a sneak. Yeah, they're both at base.
Hide is
nope.
Hiding one location, and sneaking is moving where you're hiding or something.
Hiding is hiding from sight. Sneak is moving quietly. Much like 3rd edition D&D, they split them into two skills for reasons unknown. Yeah.
Alright, I'll hide while you're doing it and question, why are we sneaking? Fail.
You want to try?
Same either way.
Crit.
No. We are the worst sneaks ever. We're like, step on a twig.
No. You
Creaky
two were doing
floorboard,
perfectly.
foot in a
I was
bucket.
doing the Looney Tunes noises as we were walking.
Knocked over a statue in the museum. Good going, guys.
I'm sure that wasn't important. Alright. Is Remy still here?
Yes.
Cool.
In fact, he's gonna, it's the next day. Remy comes up to you and he's, I couldn't find what I was looking for, what you were looking for specifically about this reference. I know I've seen that word here before in one of these texts, but not only can I not find any reference, I can't find any books that may reference it.
Have any books been taken out recently that might have had it?
I suspected this, and I looked into it, and there are no records of missing books.
Checked out or just gone missing?
No record of anything specifically that has been gone missing or that has been taken out and not returned.
Right.
However, I think there should have been something here.
Alright, well, time to look into the Sedevkar simulacrum. Sedevkar scrolls, I think is what we're supposed to be looking for here, mainly.
Is there a chance it might have just been misplaced? Maybe it's stuck underneath an uneven table leg, or
Or maybe the 16-year-old thief standing right behind us may have taken a look at it.
Sir, I would not put a several hundred-year-plus manuscript to even out a wobbly table leg. My job would be lost so fast. Is that what you do in America?
I mean, Benoit down filing did that once. They hanged him. It wasn't even a
The person in front of
manuscript.
us disappears, and suddenly the person. Hello, the person preceding me has just been fired. I am Remington Steele.
There specifically is reference, only a passing reference, to the simulacrum and the scrolls themselves, both of which seem to have been in the possession of Count Fenalique. It seemed they may have been split up among some of the soldiers that originally raided and burned down the place. You also find out that there's, although where the place was originally burned down, a new house is currently being built in this place, and currently a family lives there. Count Fenalique was interred at Sherrington. So, and Remy comes to you and says, are you skilled enough in French, our maiden tongue, of course, to speak to the populace? We need a translator, somebody around to help you.
Yeah, I should be doing all right.
Okay.
Yes, darling, I think I'll do fine.
Shall we go a library using?
I think you've done enough.
I want to tick my skill. Damn it. Alright, fine.
Excuse me, sir.
You could research other topics if you want, or research things you may have found out.
Did we find anything about the Sedefkar simulacrum? Apart
Nothing
from
more.
just where that one piece might have gone. Okay, so we've got telegrams to look into and the Count's Manor and whatnot. / sanitarium.
Let's start with the crazy house.
Start with what?
The crazy house.
Oh, the sanitarium, sure. I thought you said the greasy house. I'm like, what?
Sure, let's go to the greasy house.
That's actually a boudoir.
Oh, the greasy house. No, we call that McDonald's.
Filthy Americans.
We call that any French restaurant. More lard.
Hey!
It's true. Why is French cooking so delicious? Because it's full of fat, cream, and sugar.
Have you all agreed on a course of action?
I think we're going to the sanitarium.
Okay. As you remember from the last session, you found a news clipping about an obituary of a Dr. Etienne Delplace.
One that seemed very going through the motions.
Yeah, and a week old. You make your way to Sherrington, and it is an enormous structure with roofs and arcades in the Italian style. This institution, founded in 1631, has just changed directors, so that's all you know of the sanitarium at the moment. You can go out the door into the lobby.
Nope. 55 out of 49.
Can you remind me what natural history is for again?
Natural history is 20%.
No, what is it for?
What is it for?
Yeah.
Knowing things about past historical events, structures, peoples, or places.
Natural history.
Natural history is knowing history of things like animals and plants.
Oh.
Anyway, you make your way to the sanitarium. It is a very old-looking building. There's ivy growing up the sides. You see orderlies milling back and forth from one door to the next before you open the lobby. There's a reception in front of you.
There's a sign on the road as we're walking up to there, warning, hitchhikers may be escaped patients.
It's in French, though, so neither of these two know it.
No.
I translate for them.
Do you tell them the truth of the translation?
I tell them the truth.
Okay.
Pick up all hitchhikers. Got it. Great. I presume we're going to head inside?
Yeah.
Great. Let's head inside, find the reception area.
Okay.
Anyone
Reception.
man at a desk or whatnot?
Yep, there's a man at the desk.
Hi there, Agnes Gertrude Mallory, Boston Globe. I'm looking to take a look at some patient records. Don't worry, they're for a long-distance patient.
Oh,
So there's no legal question.
so nothing but the more recent events.
I don't believe so, no. I mean, I heard your director passed away. That's quite sad.
Okay.
I was looking for any records you had of a Count Fenalique.
Yeah.
I wasn't kidding when I said that we're talking about old records.
Yeah, I'll talk to somebody and be right back. The person leaves for a few minutes.
Is there anything on his desk those few minutes I can take a look at? Lunch roll?
There is an in and an out folder thing, and in the in part there's a paper with a little bit of corner sticking out. You see a bit of a text on it, but you'd have to pull out more to see what it means.
Is there anyone around?
It would require some kind of stealth or dexterity check.
Hey, hobo man, you get that?
90.
You suck. It's stuck.
An old lady in one of the reception desks was reading like a trashy novel.
I'm gonna try and cover his screw up by actually bumping him so that he knocks the thing off the desk, so that it actually looks like just an accident.
All right. Papers come tumbling to the floor.
What's an in tray? Fall over. Oh dear, I'm terribly sorry. Here, let me help you pick those up. Start hiding them away.
Goes back to a reading.
Go for it.
Arrange 2 and 3.
Actually, darling, that might be in French. I should probably be the one who reads that.
We have to get it first.
I thought
Because
the
you're helping
papers
clean
were
up
all
the
over the
papers, you're
floor.
easily able to. You find it's hastily typed up.
Alt 1. Let's see, check for it. Snatch.
I'll give you a check on that.
Sweet.
You find a hastily typed up memo. It seems very recent. It just quickly says,
Is it in French?
yes. He translates.
Okay. No, lightning does not strike twice. On a French roll at base of Alt 1.
No French for me.
Message to all staff. Although the death of the previous director was not suspicious in the least, we are going to end up with a lot of reporters and people trying to drag this place's name to the mud. Don't talk to them. Try to direct them to other people. The French gazettes are crazy for bad news. Current director, Dr. Francos Leroux. So you're gonna put all the papers back and
Yes, in somewhat in shuffled order.
okay. It's the in-out tray. I doubt they're gonna notice.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. The man comes back. Records from that time period we have. They are, however, not organized. I can let you look through them if you want, but only up till 1810. After that, you'll have to go through different channels, codes of information, especially anything based on recent events. You have to understand we've had some big issues lately because of the death of our contract. He leads you down a few hallways and opens up a dusty old room. It's poorly lit. He cracks open a window. You actually hear the rust of the hinges. He leaves, says he'll be back in about 10, 15-ish minutes. This will require a library use roll.
Yep, 61 and 62.
I failed that roll.
Me too.
You find a poorly made old log that records basically the ins, every person who is admitted in. Specifically, you find the name, Count Fenalique. You don't find any notice or reference of what his life was like here, or of a death. Make an idea check. Anyone can do this.
Yep, 67 out of 75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of how badly this is all organized, it doesn't look like they would record deaths, even if it did happen.
I'm going to pick up a random. I'm going to take a look at a random record and just see what it says.
So you're going to punch the GM in the dick. He'll punch back. This is Cthulhu. He will punch back.
Okay.
You find the diary of a former inmate. It contains strange, rambling rantings, but they all appear to be about your life. Sand check. When you look back at the book, it's blank. Sand check again.
You actually do pull a worn book off the shelf. He might be able to give you a translation.
I think it's his boner.
Bonjour! You notice that the book is no longer in your inventory. Make a sand check.
says hello.
I failed that check.
That's 2 Sam.
Okay. Back in the cooler you go.
And that's why you don't punch the GM in the dick. Yes, when you find a library in a tabletop game, never say I open a random book, what's it say?
Because you will get the death toll.
Yep. Alright, I turn the page. What does the second page say? I'm not writing a novel for you.
At least not without getting paid.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is all the information you can find from the records and what you came to the close.
I want to look at accounting records.
You don't find any easy.
Darn.
It's a room of patient records. They didn't just set us loose in the room of all the records they had.
Yeah.
That would be a terrible thing to do.
They would never let you into the room that held all the delicate records that exposed them as charlatans.
I just wanted an excuse to roll it.
Stop doing it. Dude.
Stop trying to roll accounting.
You should have put points into it.
I did.
Not enough, apparently.
No, I did after that.
That's your mistake.
Anyway.
Oh, also, when you were in the National Library, you did find a floor plan to Fenalique's old mansion.
I think I have a plan to get deeper inside of the conspiracy here. I'm going to pull up my gun and shout out, Je suis Napoleon.
Alright, how about we call that a solid plan G?
You noticed on the floor plans that it had a basement. Just a small little storage basement. But yeah.
Well, I mean, we know that. That's where the Iron Maiden was. That they set on fire.
They put Johnny Depp's mother in there.
Should we investigate around the sanitarium into this director guy's death? I find it interesting that the memo specifically there's nothing suspicious about his death. Also, don't talk to any reporters. That's, kind of a red flag.
Yeah. That does sound like something that probably should take a look at.
How you doing this investigation?
Good question.
I'd pull out my gun
Let's start with an
and
obvious question. How much of the sanitarium do we have access to?
You can't access any of the areas where the crazy people are, except the very, very non-crazy. You can
Perfect.
talk to staff who are milling about.
The non-crazy patients are exactly the people I want to talk to. They're the people who might know something about said director. Because the staff have been warned not to talk to us. I'm going to start by asking a patient. I talked to one of the patients who's in the sanitarium because he's gay. Because it's 1920.
Or rather, you tell me to talk to the person who's there because he probably doesn't speak English.
I might have set back. I'm sure if I just talk very loudly, it'll work just fine.
Yes, well, you look like another crazy American.
Perfect, I'll fit right in.
You know what they say about Americans.
Yes, we say also devil.
Friendliest people in the world. Second only to the Australians, and the Irish, and the Canadians, and the British, actually, come to think of it. And the French, frankly. And the notoriously standoffish Japanese, actually. Actually, I'll get back to you when I finish this list. Alright, I think I've
they're
383rd.
Yeah, they're friendly right up to the point where they bomb you.
Yep.
Okay. What are you going to ask this person? His name is Jock.
Hello there, Jack.
Hello there, Jacques. My name is Mr. Codebeuf. I work for the Boston Globe.
Yeah, Boston Globe. I just goes, looks at you.
A reporter. Oh. I used to be a reporter too.
Yes, a quite handsome one too. Would you be able to tell me about the director who was here, the one who just died?
Yes, Del Place. Handsome devil. Big mustache.
Handsome devil. I mean, not handsome. No. Remember the therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get electroshocked again.
Yes, electroshock. Not nice. That's actually what the person says.
Does he have a twitch?
He does now.
He's a cord.
Are you here with the hauntings?
No, but I am interested now that you mentioned it.
I've wrote a lot of stories about them up here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember when they happened. It might have been 2 years ago. It might have been a year. It might have been 2 weeks or 4 weeks or tomorrow. Yeah, I think the
Safe to
hauntings
say
still
they occurred in the past. Mostly safe to say.
I'm pretty sure with the tomorrow one, though. Definitely. That's what my article is going to be about. Well, it is about.
Yes, continue.
Just is what makes us all here crazy. All of us.
Okay. The hauntings make you all crazy. What do you mean by hauntings? Like, do you see things? Do you hear things? Do you...
Just howling. Just, yeah. But then, not all of us hears howling, so I don't know if that's the ghost or if it's just Larry who hasn't taken pills.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be more likely it's the former.
I agree. It's what my article is going to be about. I'll have awards for it.
Sounds like it'll be a fascinating read. All right.
What kind of howling?
Well, like, does it sound like a wolf? Does it sound like a man? Does it sound like a man in pain?
It sounds like a mix between a mastiff and a German shepherd.
Alrighty then. That was oddly specific.
But it.
I used to breed with dogs. I mean, bred dogs. Don't tell the overseer I said that.
They'll stop me again if I do.
I like him. We should bust him free. I'm sure that won't cause problems.
Yes, speaking of stuff, one of them's here. One got locked up. He went crazy. He's Guimard. Why somebody?
Guimard. I'm, of course, translating all this to Agnes so she can write it down.
I don't know. He went nutter and he got locked up, but he's not locked up with us. He's one of the violent types.
Okay.
Like screams all the time. Sometimes you can hear him from the hall.
So no one else heard these howls?
Oh, maybe. Some of them talk to me. Some only talk to me in their head.
Okay. Did anyone in the staff, or the director, hear complaints about the house?
Maybe. I mean, you can't really talk to the director much because he's in his office.
Also because he's dead.
And the secretary's going to be, yeah. Did they ever get a new guy to replace him?
Yes,
Because it'd be a shame if nobody was running this place. Because, I can take the position.
I'm sure you would do a fantastic.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
I should be the next director.
Yes.
I'll be sure to submit your name. Shock, crazy butt.
Crazy buto.
You want to depart separate ways.
Let's see. So is this like
There was also a Paul, handsome devil. They're all handsome devils, but
they're devils.
all devils. Every single one of them trying to tempt me, villains. But yeah, he's a orderly, good guy. In fact, there he is right now. Yeah, he looks through a window. Yeah, see a man in a suit. He's got a suitcase with him. He's actually leaving the building.
I chase him down, pull out my gun, and shout, "Just read it, put it."
Okay. So
Roll dodge and kung fu flips you.
Should we go follow him?
yes.
Would you like to do that, Captain Sneaky Pants, or are we actually going to talk to him?
Talking is not my best thing.
No, I'm just saying, are we sending you off alone to follow him and see where he goes? Or are we all going to just walk over to him and talk to him?
The former.
Okay? Have fun with that. Off he goes. Alone.
Okay.
That's God.
Party.
So what are you two doing as he's running off?
I will talk to one of the other orders.
Should I roll now or later?
Now.
Hey!
On 8.
You leap behind a baby stroller just as he looks back.
Diving leap.
And he keeps walking. A brisk pace, but it doesn't look like he's running anywhere. He looks a bit tired. Maybe his shift just ended. Turns around down the corner and keeps walking.
He's blind, you can follow him.
He gets to the local metro station and waits patiently for the next train.
Do you have a nonchalant skill?
Nonchalant.
Pretty sure it's not on there.
Might be something similar.
We get it. You're
Well, it
nonchalant.
would be
Quit
sneak.
rubbing our noses in it.
It would just be sneak.
90. I am not nonchalant.
Who are you?
Sorry, my French is not so good.
Who are you? He's saying this in French.
He's saying it in French, right?
Oh, jar.
I say a little bit louder. In English. I'm sorry, my English is not so good.
My French English is not good. Whatever you speak here. I don't know what you speak in France. I don't know what you French people speak. Is it France? Do you speak French?
No, I speak German.
He catches himself for a moment and go, wait, my French is not so good.
He composes himself for a moment, fixes his tie. Are you a reporter in English?
No.
Okay. And he sits back waiting for the metro.
I open my cooler and offer him a drink.
I wish my phone was incredibly occupied so I could look up if France had a metro in 1920. But never mind that now. It does now. Train, certainly. I actually have no idea.
You guys can go follow him now that you're worried about where he's going. You also realize
I'm
that
not
he
worried
doesn't
about
speak
where
French.
he's going. Well, he's not supposed to talk to him. He's just supposed to figure out where he's going.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to orderlies.
Alright.
And of course, I need to be with her because most of them speak French.
Yeah. You go to the closest orderly, young lady, just folding some sheets.
Hi there, Agnes Gertrude Mallory. I was curious, I heard
Hello,
one
madame.
of-
This is Agnes Gertrude Mallory of the Boston Globe.
I kick him. As I pointedly did not mention that. You're a terrible translator. Right, this is fucked. Next orderly.
You find another orderly, young woman folding sheets. Must be a twin to the other one.
So we go, I go, now this time. Hi there, Agnes Gertrude Mallory. I was talking to one of the patients and he said one of the orderlies had been admitted with some kind of problem.
Oh, Gumard. Yes. Yes, Mr. Guimard, Martin Guimard. He worked here for quite some time. He can be a bit loud at times, but it's such a shame what happened to him.
What did happen to him?
Well, we're not supposed to talk to reporters.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'm not a reporter, fast talk.
Roll that shit.
Yep, 26 out of 73.
Okay, well, hey,
Actually, since I'm translating, should I roll fast talk?
Well, she can probably see that I'm talking and then you're just repeating what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was about a week ago. We
You can roll a con times 5 check to not snort with derisive laughter.
Make the roll.
Nat 1.
Alt 1, which is amazingly good.
Yes.
You keep a stone face. But every fiber of your being is laughing.
Yes. Can I put a check on something? Like French or?
Probably French, yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to say, yeah, give a check mark on French.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we found him down in the basement. And, well, the basement was sealed off. It's pretty much off limits to us because, you know, architecture and stuff. It could be dangerous. So we just generally stay
It could be
outside.
dangerously non-Euclidean in this here setting.
Anyway, they found him down there, severely injured, something wrong with his hand. Sorry, his hand.
Oh,
Like, gushing from the wrist. We have no idea how he got the injury.
did it look like he did it himself?
Well, that's my theory anyway, and that's what Becky down the hall says too.
My twin sister, who's glaring at us for some reason.
Yeah. but he's stark raving mad now. Like he gibbers and screams and is violent. In fact, he actually tried to stab Becky with a pillow. I'm not sure how,
Ow. Quit it.
but he did.
Quit it.
Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago. Apparently, he was taken up and put into one of the wards, and I think there was another person down there. There's rumors of someone else, but well, I don't know. That just seems like gossip to me. Because well, everyone's wrong about who it is, or at least well, one person says one thing, Becky says the other, and Janice says something else. Now even Paul doesn't believe that second part of the story. Oh wait, no. Paul actually did agree to the story, but he didn't know the name of the person. Paul Mandrake.
Mandrake?
Mandrake.
Like the Mandarin from Iron Man.
I was just asking because it doesn't sound like a French name.
You do remember that to be the name of the man he's currently following.
And who is Paul, anyway?
He's just one of the earlies. Nice guy. He does his job like all of us. He's kind of has some misgivings about the place. I mean, I've heard him complain a few instances.
Kind of
he has a point to pick. I think it might have been about the electroshock. Because, it's a very controversial treatment of the moment.
Electroshock? Controversial in 1920? I don't think so, sir. I was prescribed for everything. Still is prescribed for a lot of things. Because it actually works. Good, it actually works. That's why they keep doing it.
Hopefully not on children nowadays.
Certainly at a lower voltage.
Yeah, I'm suddenly getting memories of Return to Oz.
But yeah, I didn't really listen much to his complaints. He just kind of presented his complaints. And you hear that all day from the inmates. We're not supposed to call them inmates, sorry. But you could probably ask him.
Sorry, nutcase. Imbeciles. Technical term in 1920s. Yeah. Anyway, it was nice speaking with you, but I suppose I should probably find out where my associate's gone.
Alright. Apparently Paul stopped by a nice little cafe, and he actually ordered a glass of wine. He's kind of sitting there, taking his time.
It's after work, that's his right.
Yeah.
He's French.
As long as you do not drink that awful stuff beer. That is the English drink.
French have beer. They just don't really like it.
Fine. No, I haven't really.
What I loved is that in World War I, French and Italian troops had wine rations. That was great.
Not as funny as cigarette rations, though.
Yeah, they had those.
I am going to try wine. It's a cafe with wine. I'm going to order some wine.
Okay.
He's gonna get food.
Sorry, I said try wine.
It makes the impression that you've never tasted wine before.
Or that you're going to buy his wine specifically.
Just walk over. Not bad. Set it down and leave.
Hey, Frenchie, this is some good wine.
Not bad.
And your cheeses ain't that bad either. Hey, have you ever been to this place called America?
I guess we have legendarily great cheese. Can I get a slice of this but wrapped in plastic?
So you find yourself a table. He looks up from his glass of wine at you from across the room and just goes back to drinking. He orders a platter of something.
While I'm waiting for my stuff, I'm going to unfold a map of this of the local city and stuff.
I'm going to say you were able to find a map of Paris, yeah.
He stole it from someone.
Yes, with your hobo knowledge.
As far as he's concerned, there isn't any other way to get that.
Now, what would be a decent skill for reading the map? Navigate?
French or navigate?
Remember, you don't know French. This map is going to be in French.
true, but it's names of streets,
True.
which match the names on the street sign.
So, do you know which street you're
Like,
on?
I can't.
You check before going in?
I can't
I
read.
failed my
Like, I
navigation
can't
check.
read Japanese either, but I can match a string of symbols with a string of symbols.
Now, I'm going to say he spent so much time looking over that map, you two have found him.
We've tracked him down.
You're John Doe, right?
Yeah.
Hi, hello, John. How's it going? Don't worry, we're not figments of your imagination.
I wanted to roll stealth before, like, hide. So he thought he was hallucinating. I will never not screw with him.
I wave you over and invite you to sit down.
I'm gonna order food.
I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help. read the
65 on a French check. What do I get served? I tried to ask for toasted eggs.
Oh, escargot baguette? Alright.
Yeah.
You just
Snail
ordered a
sandwich.
snail sandwich, John.
Well, it'll be interesting.
It comes out. It's one of those sandwich platters where
is it a
both,
panini?
no, where both pieces are laid flat and it's on one piece. And it is,
Is it slathered in garlic butter?
yes, and
This actually sounds delicious.
there are no shells, but there are obvious lumps of slug-like meat. And blue cheese sprinkled on top.
Nice. Apart from the blue cheese, I would eat that. Snails are generally covered in garlic butter, which is fine on toast. Which actually probably is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot.
Not the blue cheese, though. I hate blue cheese.
Anyway, are you going to tell them that you're still following the dude?
Or no, Agnes
the
is
guy.
completely disgusted by it. I just take the sandwich. Really bad. Really nice.
I have no idea what skill is for me. Carry on, you two. I'm just trying to figure something out.
Yeah, I'll probably will stand up, leave before Paul does. So, and then
Probably a sand check, actually. I make my sand check. I eat my sandwich. I am unfazed by your sand.
Don't say what's on the card.
Don't say or don't show.
Don't say or show what's on the card.
Okay. Just a drawing of a penis, Daniel.
I wouldn't do that the first time using said card.
I would.
all right, can I talk to you for a moment?
Why did you
Daniel,
hand me a paper that just says, "This is Blake, don't read it aloud"?
they're back from their mysterious conversation.
Yes.
Why did you hand me a card that just had a crude drawing on it?
Whoa, whoa. That will make sense in about 3 sessions. However, you have to memorize what was on that card.
Anyways,
I don't think I can forget what you drew on that card. I mean, I see
It was
this
pretty
online.
filthy.
I see this
You're
on.
not supposed to show him. Sand check.
I'm just going based on his expression.
alright, I'm going to, pick up my map, walk over to Paul, and try to get his attention. Is he like a table or?
Yeah, he's at a big table. There's enough room for other people to sit down there.
I'll sit next to him and it's like, do you have a moment?
I don't hear what they're saying.
Yeah, that sounds think. Sure.
I'm trying to find the library. The really big
Now, how are you
library.
doing this with not knowing French?
I'm speaking English.
Me, look.
Bibliothèque
Library.
nationale.
Library.
Oh, here.
Where are we?
Here.
I look at his food and go, what is that?
That is escargot baguette.
I've started a craze. They call it the stereotype when you order it.
Which Which part of America are you from?
Which part of America am I from?
5 dice.
Make it up if you want.
I think we're from Boston.
Technically, it should be on your sheet. Birthplace, front of page, top section, under name, occupation, college's degrees.
Most likely completely blank.
Probably. It is blank.
Going to
Agnes
say
is from Boston. You're probably from everywhere. Main Street, USA.
I'm from everywhere. I've been all over America.
Oh, have you ever been to?
Yes.
I have a relative there. A brother-in-law, actually. Beautiful. Sit down. Well, you already are. Have some.
I just sat down anyway. Just like, hi. Hi.
I understand. You're tourist. You all seem weird. But you know what? Well, you must have been in that time.
I ordered popcorn.
I'm sorry. You seemed rather friendly at the bus stops, and I saw you here, and I thought maybe, and you knew some English, so I thought you would
I'm
be
listening to
good.
them. I'm listening.
So
Oh.
I thought you would be a good help.
Well, I help people every day at my work, so I'm glad I can help you. Just understand, my English is how you say spotty.
That's how you say spotted lemur.
Still failing my French.
I don't care if you odd
Mercy
one your
bucket.
French roll, you are not going to be able to speak a French sentence.
I'll be able to get a word.
It may be a very important word, yes. But where do you work? I work at Carrington.
Oh, I own an apartment place. I have a manager there who the tenants.
How do you say slumlord?
Yes, landlord. I know a few. They
Scum, all of them.
they have bad odor.
They stink of human misery. And meth.
That hasn't been invented yet.
As? It's not slang named meth. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Speed exists.
Then what is the thing that's more recent?
Heroin, I don't think, was invented until World War II.
Sorry, I thought meth was a very recent thing.
Popularity
Heroin is
certainly
based
is.
off of opium.
Yeah, opium existed for a long time.
Yeah, I know that.
Heroin, I think, was made in... I don't know if it was World War I or World War II. This period of time is known as the Great Binge because
Yes.
everyone was high because nothing was illegal.
But drink up, I will order more wine.
Opium?
It's been a hell of a few months for me in my work.
Where do you work?
I just told you, Carrington. It's sanatorium.
Ah,
Les sanatorium.
Asylum.
Madhouse.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yes,
folks.
yes. That must be quite a job.
Yes. But management worse. Well, management poop off in head.
Management go crazy?
Well, the recent director had about an accident. Terrible thing. I believe it was his own electroshock thing. But he's gone now. And a new guy's in his place.
So the former director was electrocuted?
Well,
I'm not asking him that question, I'm saying what did he say?
he said that he thinks he was electrocuted by his electroshock therapy device.
How could that happen?
He had a habit of using that machine even when not in session. He would use it on people even when not on scheduled hours.
Ah, that sounds dangerous.
And the week before that, he seemed preoccupied with a new patient he got. And before that, we had another employee, a Guimart, who we found him in the basement, crazy off his rocker with another person, emaciated to all hell. He must have been keeping him in the basement. And Guymard had a gigantic gash on his arm, just deep through the wrist.
Is he okay?
Well, the wound was able to patch up, yes. But his brain, something happened down there. He screams every night. It's hard thinking back to when I used to work with him. Yeah, he was gruff. And it was kind of a pain to work with him, but to know that that's what he's like now, a howling lunatic who, even with the therapy, it doesn't calm him. He's tried to stab people.
I've known a friend who went crazy. It's not easy.
In fact, the patient that the director may have been working with at the time suspect it was this new patient of his that he was performing electrically on. He probably died too. We don't know what happened to the body.
Who?
Of the patient, not Guymard, the other man found in the basement.
Oh.
I'll tell you a bit more, but you can't tell Dr. Leroux, the current acting director. I need your word on this.
I can keep my word, but I don't know who that is.
Okay. You just don't tell anyone.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Well,
Just between us.
Guymard, we
Drink
found
some
him in the
wine.
basement.
Just between me, you, and those two people at the other pit, one of who has a newspaper rolled into a cone. that lady with a notepad at the next table over.
And that street rat hanging outside, glaring through a
Who
window.
just holds up a sign that says, "Ask about the patient in the basement."
You are totally botching these speech checks.
He hasn't made it yet.
You see me, I've been waiting at the bum this entire time. I can translate for you.
But I remember Del Place. He was a good man. But in that last week, he seemed obsessed with his research with this new patient. In fact, I even remember his last words. They seemed so silly at the time I heard them. It's such a shame he was never able to finish his research. He said, "It's within my grasp, Mandarin. Each of us holds the keys to our whole racial memory. In our dreams, we speak languages we have never known, and soon I will have proof." That was an olden times concept that somehow the memories of our ancestors or race as a whole was somehow in our genes.
Yeah, played Assassin's Creed. But that's based on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is shockingly similar to Assassin's Creed.
They weren't original, trust me.
That was his last words?
Because the next day I saw
speak
it.
languages we have never known. Something.
In our dreams, we speak languages we have never known.
Then
Soon I will have proof. And the next day, he was dead.
Wait, you said there was two people in the basement?
Yes, there was Guymard, and then this patient. They found Guymard. They found the two of them down in the basement, which is of course forbidden for staff. And there was a bricked up room. That's all I know, but they found the two of them in there.
How did they get in if it was bricked up?
I don't know. We don't know when it wasn't bricked up now. We found it with all the bricks removed. It was a section of the basement we didn't even know existed. We're not sure when the bricks were removed, but it looks like, quite frankly, that Guymard may have been keeping this man down there. This man was a waste of a human being. Skin and bones. Couldn't move from the floor.
Is he okay? You know, physically, now.
I don't know. After the director died, this person vanished. I'm guessing fled.
So, emaciated guy in the basement. They found him, and then he started being subjected to electroshock therapy by the director after hours off the books, kind of thing?
Yes. The director took a special interest to this man. He was the focus of his research. Although he said he didn't want to tell me much about the research until he made his big discovery.
Do you know why this patient was in there in the first place?
I think it's Guimard. He must have brought him down there, locked him up, must have made it his own personal prison. Since none of the rest of the stuff are allowed to go down there, he could have kept another human being down there for a very long time. And the fact that this was going on behind the director's back.
Nope. I hold up a sign that says something, but you can't see it, but it didn't roll bad enough that you understand. Agnes fails to convey a message to you.
Right, so he pauses there for a moment as if he's trying to mull this over and try to process this information.
Just be careful on the streets, okay? The sanitarium doesn't have room for all the crazy out there. There's one man free. Just, you can't tell Dr. LaRoe.
Oh, I
If I'm going to work
promise.
somewhere else, I need references, solid references.
I promise. I won't tell a soul.
You are as trustworthy as all the other Americans I know. Don't worry, that is better than you think it sounds. We don't all hate you. Only specific people are you. From the you call the South.
Dude, I wish to point out it's 1920. France just finished World War I with America as an ally. They don't hate Americans yet. They think Americans are dumb because Americans were legendarily incompetent in World War I.
So sorry about the war.
The famous quote was, trust Americans to figure out the right way to do something by figuring out every way to do it wrong first.
Mandarin finishes his sandwich and goes out. It's been a wonderful talk. I had a very busy. I work the graveyard shifts.
Well, stay safe.
He pays his bill and leaves.
Once he's gone, I'll stand up, back to the other table. So did you get all that?
Most of it, dear. Did you not ask him who is allowed in the basement? He said staff weren't. He didn't say anything about patients, but does that mean anyone is allowed down there ever?
He made it clear that no one's allowed down there.
Okay. What about maintenance crews? How do you know you don't have a faulty foundation? What if there's a water leak? What if someone's keeping an emaciated man down there?
He never asked that.
I didn't ask that.
Exactly.
That's my comment.
That's not a cop-out. That was what the note was trying to show. It actually said, ask who is allowed in the basement.
Well, it didn't occur to me.
No. That's why she tried to pass you a note about it. It just didn't work.
Several other people at the cafe notice it though, and they're like,
It's written in English, though.
okay, so one of them gets it.
One of them gets it and is convinced he's mistranslated it. Because he's like, it doesn't make any sense.
I should never have skipped out of that year of English.
So, darling, you're the experienced journalist here. Where do you suggest we go next?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I know I want to look into that there sanitarium, but I'm not certain it has anything to do with what we're looking into already. Mostly I'd like to take a look at where those telegrams came from.
What telegrams?
The ones that got the Turkish men to go to Paris.
Oh.
And get murdered in a hotel room. Several times, apparently. I know there were telegrams sent from Paris to them wherever they were.
Well, the map. Maybe it shows where there's any telegram stations.
Alright, I help him translate the map.
I make no sense of that.
You find there's a place a few blocks off that deals with telegrams. It wasn't specifically the one that sent these, because each telegram actually has the stamp on it of which place deals with the telegrams.
Okay. But we can find out from there where it was sent.
Yes, possibly.
Hi there. Insert standard opening.
Hi. Globe and Mail, right?
No, dear. No, dear.
Good, we've had too many reporter types around here.
She works for a respectable institution.
There is such a thing?
In 1920, yes. There were still respectable newspapers in 1920. The Pulitzer Prize had not really been established yet, so there wasn't this desire to make shit up to win prizes. Hi there, Agnes Gertrude Townley, Boston Globe. I was trying to look into the origin of some telegrams.
Okay.
Okay? Excuse me?
He recognizes that it's English, and then turns around to another staff member and drags him over. He's like, hi, I speak the English.
Oh, that's good. Mercy bucket.
Oh, American.
bone jar to you as well. I want him to communicate in broken English. Me to communicate in broken French.
You asked about telegram.
Yes, specifically these telegrams. I think like copies I made of them and like their routing information. Specifically these ones here.
I was half expecting you to say "oui" instead of "yes."
Ooey.
These
Where?
looks like there's a place in Constantinople.
Not Istanbul.
Constantinople.
I don't know
The
Istanbul. Where is that?
the only people who called it Istanbul at this point were people from Istanbul, and some Turks called part of it Istanbul.
I know. I'm just making
Yeah.
that a running
Oh,
gag.
I know. But yeah, these are from quite far away. And the problem is that they can be kind of sketchy when distances go that far. Because normally they have to go through several companies. So the exact destination can be hard to point out besides essentially it's Constantinople.
So the telegrams came from Constantinople or were sent there?
Sent there. So.
Okay.
Did you know New York was once called New Amsterdam?
Yep.
They should have kept it.
Why they changed it? Who can say?
I would like to point out, because I've had several people who try to meet old relatives and stuff through the way telegrams get sent, trying to find old people and make connections, is that just because they receive telegrams in a certain place, it might not mean that they live there, especially if they're trying to be secretive about it. We've had several issues of affairs happening through that way.
Which concerns him not at all because he's French.
Oh, no, I read all of them come
Exactly.
through. You'd be amazed at
I
things,
put a rush on those.
you'd be amazed at things people put in telegrams.
Apparently they think people don't read them.
Exactly.
Apparently they don't understand how this works.
See that list up there? The best ones we've seen this far.
It's just a poster board with a bunch of copies stuck to it, and the top it says flambe.
Do you know where they were sent from?
Oh yeah, London. Somebody in London sent these.
Someone in London lied to me.
Shit. Sorry, I messed up on that detail. They were sent, looks like they were sent from Paris. Here. But they came from Constantinople to a place here. They was then specifically sent from here to London.
Oh, the reply. Alright. One last thing here. I was wondering, that reply came back from Constantinople. Would it be possible to get a copy of that? Persuade?
They have a thing on the month out there. I don't think they have
but
much
that's for
privacy
sexy telegrams.
policy.
I'm pretty sure that's an internal board. They don't show that to everybody.
Well, he starts looking, but then his teammate just slaps him and says, "Sit down! Speak to boss!" It's like, I'm sorry, but those kind of things we're not allowed to talk to the public about.
I'm sorry to hear that, but this actually pertains to a series of murders that occurred in London just a short while ago. We need to find out if there are other people that might be in danger. Yes. It's triple murder in a London hotel.
Make a roll with a plus 20 points. Treat it as if you're 20 points higher than yourself.
Yep. 50 out of 85 at that
I will
point.
look for it right now.
Sure.
Goes back in. About 10, 15 minutes moves past. And he's like, here's a copy of it right here.
Cool. I sense I've derailed something.
Right, son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, guys, this train represents you. Wait, I caused a train crash. No, you're derailing us!
Every one of those telegrams were replied to, and they were replied back in the exact same manner.
See?
I guess. My God. Read backwards, this is M Noose Tour No.
Damn it!
Can
I'll
I
have
see
to
it?
change my code now.
No, but
Can I see
it
it?
says something meaningless if you read it backwards. It just says en route soon. Signed M. With some odd spacing.
All of them were like that?
Well, that isn't slightly ominous in the least bit.
Ominous, what's that?
Thank you for your time. Sorry to bother you.
Well, I'm glad we can help, and I hope you're able to find who did it.
Oh, rest assured, we're hunting them viciously.
Wow, Americans. They will go to other countries to find criminals. Shame about the war, though.
Anyway, now we've got a count to investigate.
To the manor.
Yeah, where his manor used to be.
If there's any rugs, I'm going to be standing on them and feeling for hidden trapdoor to a basement. Unless there's a table in the way. Because that would just be weird.
The small village of Corzy is 28 kilometers northwest of Paris. It is on the Seine River, between the river and the Forêt de Saint-Germain, the Forest of Saint-Germain. You can get there by train, tram, or hired car.
Like taxi.
Yeah, pretty much. If you want, you can roll a history check to see if you know any facts about the place.
Nope.
Literature history?
In this case, I'll allow it.
What's literature history?
It's one of my class skills. And I failed.
You can ask people about the place, but
Nope. Can't get by.
it's a quaint little village.
They're talking some kind of crazy moon language.
But I have to read up on my moon speak.
Man, even outside Paris, they're still speaking this weird language.
Yeah, I thought it was just what the Paris people talk, Pyrenees or something.
Paradise.
You know the villa was somewhere in this town. You don't know its exact location, but if you go to the town hall, you may be able to find some records of where it used to stand.
Let's go bug a small town hall mayor type guy.
Office clerk.
If it's a small town, it might actually be the mayor. Depends how small a town it is.
Yep. It's actually a really small building. The secretary and the mayor are actually out.
Is it actually just an information kiosk?
Pretty much. The mayor's actually there while you're asking for the mayor. It's like, oh, I'm the mayor. What was that? Americans, right?
Yes, indeed.
How can I help you?
I must say, your English is very impressive.
Thank you. With the amount of tourists we get in the city, I have to know many languages.
Really? Tourist hotspot, is it?
Oh, well, not per se itself, but, well, one day I hope to be an official in Paris. You gotta start small.
I want to roll psychology on this. How desperate is he for that to get out of here? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell.
Yeah. I was so close to getting it, but I got 8 instead of 5. So close.
Well, we're actually here looking into some very old local history. Apparently some mad count by the name of Count Fenalique, or Conte Fenalique.
The name is familiar.
Apparently he had a manor house near here. He was some crazed madman and
A
they
lot of
burned
the
it
nobles
down.
had villas around this area. I wouldn't be able to point this one out on a map for it, but we have a room in the back with a whole bunch of records, a bunch of old maps and stuff. I could let you in.
Oh, thank you. That would be most helpful.
He opens the door. It's a broom closet with a cabinet shoved into it.
A bit shoved in the back, which just says records. You open it. Arthur E. Applebab. Jeremiah Zetweiler. Oh, this is going to go badly. Damien Pierce. Oh, this is going to be bad.
This is going to require a library use roll.
No.
Yes.
Yay!
The bum makes it in the clinch.
That's because you find it in the trash beside the place.
Alongside a half-eaten sandwich. Which quickly becomes a completely eaten sandwich.
What you find is actually a request from a construction company to build in a certain site, just a regular house. They were specifically requesting because they had heard that there was originally a villa here, and they needed actual confirmation before building. They didn't want to get, in shit by the mayor. They briefly mentioned that it's supposedly the manor of Count Fenalique, and they also put the actual address of the house in. When you search for that address instead of the villa, you find out that it's currently owned by a family named the Lorians. Or maybe it's Lorraines. Tomato, tomato. Okay. That's all the information you can find in their extensive records.
You open a file cabinet, your rifle through it for 10 minutes. You
Don't
find
forget to put a check on that library.
I did.
Alright. Can I look up anything about the Lorraine family?
Yeah, they went to the Bibliothèque sale. They
Surprised there's a
don't
record of
have
that.
any parking tickets. Oh, the bake sales here are actually pretty big to them. The mayor's very proud of them.
He runs them himself. He keeps meticulous
Oh,
records.
the Lorraines, yeah, I know them. Because Christian, the father and husband. He's actually Jose's doctor.
His name is Christian, or they're Christian?
No, his name's Christian. It's a very small town. We basically have one doctor.
No doctor?
Well,
Did you say they basically have no doctor?
no, they have one doctor.
Ah.
They have a small clinic, but he's the head doctor. And everyone else is basically just nurses.
Run by the mayor.
No, by Christian.
I can just imagine this. It's such a small town that the mayor just runs everything. He just changes hats.
Anyway, shall we go to the local hospital and talk to this Mr. Lorraine guy?
Oh, it's a little late in the afternoon. You can talk to him now. Maybe at home.
Kind of hoping to talk to him in a setting other than knocking on his door and saying, "Hi, can I have a suspiciously in-depth conversation about your house?" I was thinking more along the lines of go to the doctor, pretend I have a foot ache, and talk to him while he's looking at it, kind of thing.
Sure, we can do that.
Even in 1920, most people don't want to have a conversation with a random stranger who showed up on their doorstep with a notepad. Hi, hey, this is Jude Mallory.
By the time you get to the clinic, you actually see the doctor actually packing up and about to leave. It's like, oh, are you here for help? I'm the head doctor and I'm about to pack in for the night.
Oh, it's nothing serious. I'm sure it can wait until tomorrow.
Oh, well, all right then. Have a good night.
Are you Christian Lorraine?
Yes.
You bought the old place on insert address.
Yes, I've had that place for quite a while now. That's where my daughter was born.
Oh, really?
Beautiful place.
I heard it was built on the site of some old villa.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Do you know much about it? I'm doing a piece of local color travel. I work for the Boston Globe, incidentally. I don't believe I mentioned that on this one occasion. Second occasion.
Veronica loves the papers. You know what? Come over tomorrow for dinner. We'll cook you up something. All three of you. And we'll talk about this.
We'll get you a bath. No.
I'll try to look up what I can. So we have a bit more to talk to you about.
Oh, wonderful. Don't use the B word in front of him.
Oh,
Bath. He's like a dog.
What is he, Italian?
Let's go with yes.
I'm so sorry.
I think he's somewhat mulatto, I don't know.
Wow. Moving right along.
Yes.
1920s.
That's our excuse. We're sticking to it. Anyway, so you guys.
Learn a lot about people playing RPGs with them.
You're able to find a nearby hotel or a traveler's hostel.
96 on a credit rating check. I find the heaviest hotel ever.
It is the.
There is literally water in the carpet. It's like if I walk in, squish, squish, squish.
Well, I'm sleeping with my shoes on tonight.
Yep.
Oh.
You are used to it though. You've actually seen worse places.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a step up from most of the places.
It's also better than my apartment. There's blood all over the floor all the time.
Actually, that stopped ever since the
You get a telegram one day. Oh God, it started up again. It's like a faucet.
Alright, now this is the master bedroom. Occasionally the walls will bleed. Now, it's an old house. Now, it's an old house, so you're gonna get some wall bleeding.
And just to
These
note,
are the stairs to the basement. Don't walk down them. They'll just straight up collapse and kill you. They've claimed 6 builders already. Don't worry, we buried them outside.
But how did you get them out?
Frame. All the prospective tenants are just curled in a ball, shivering and crying. Oh, you babies.
You see, it happens so often that they become desensitized to it.
Well, the realtor has. The prospective tenants have not.
and yet he still finds tenants.
Yep. A rotating cast of tenants.
A lot of them are called students. Well, with these rates, what do you expect?
Yep.
Okay. So it's the next day, about dinner time. Head over to his place.
Sure.
Okay. Knock on the door. He comes up. Says, "Oh, come on in. I'll just get some coffee on the way."
Hey, fine.
You see that there's a little girl just hiding behind his leg.
Hi, Dad.
And Christian's like, "Don't worry, Colette. They're nice people. They're reporters. You watch the news. You read the paper. You write papers?
I do. I write for the Boston Globe.
So Boston's in Canada, right?
Sure. No.
I'm sorry about
It's in America, dear. That's just south of Canada.
Oh, okay.
Also known as the South.
You can actually see the kitchen from the living room as he's brewing some coffee. Roll spot hidden.
I succeed. 52 to 75.
96.
He's wearing one of those dress shirts where the sleeve ends about here. And you see there is...
Mafia tattoos.
No, you actually notice a scar on his left hand. It looks pretty recent. That goes up his hand and then disappears under his sleeve. It looks from a pretty bad hand injury.
Like a gash. Basement gash? Too recent? Not different person?
Oh, you alright? It looks like you hit yourself.
Oh, this was actually from the rose bushes. You'll know that there were rose bushes outside.
Looks awfully deep.
No, I was trying to trip them and I fell into them. I just, I was able to treat it, but it didn't heal well. But it's fine now.
Psychology on that obvious line of bulb. No, it's apparently not obvious enough for Agnes.
Natural history on those roses.
You go outside and stare at the rose bushes.
It looks like there's more than one thorn on...
I got it.
Okay,
You
for the check.
successfully realized that there's more than one thorn on the average rose bush, and if you fell in one, you'd have more than one scrape.
Thorns are actually pretty small. They don't look big enough to do the damage on his arm, as you can tell from the scar. It is currently about, you're just into the winter months now, so it'll be in about a month you'll get snow, and there's no roses, no flower petals actually up in the thorn bushes at the moment.
I'm going to relay this information to Gertrude Mallory from Boston Globe.
Oh, come on. Yeah. I'm actually going to take them aside a little bit away from the kid. I'm going to guess maybe he doesn't want to say in front of her. It's alright, dear. You don't have to.
Oh, it was actually a really deep cut.
No rose bush would do something like that. I mean, you don't have any other marks on you. You don't fall into a rose bush. Is your wife hurting you?
He seems completely sincere.
Do you remember much else about that day?
No, I was just trying to guard.
Where did you fall?
Psychology again. Is he lying or is he just like not remembering or something? Nope. Still nothing.
Where did you
I
fall?
don't know, you might have followed us.
He points out through the window. There's actually a difference in the rose bushes at one point where there's a section that looks horribly uncut and like twice as tall, and the other bushes that were like the front of the house that look much cleaner and almost square cut.
Do you mind if I take a look? Maybe there might be something sharp in there.
Sure.
you know, it's always best to be careful, safe and stuff.
All right, I'll tell you when the coffee's brewed. And Veronica has been cooking her. She won't be down for dinner. She will be down for the dinner, but she's resting. She has terrible arthritis. It's very cryptic.
So, is he gone off to check on the coffee and whatnot?
Yes.
Have I been left alone with a daughter I can talk to?
Yes.
Hi, Dad. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Did you notice your father hurt his arm?
I was there when it happened. He was gardening and he fell in the bushes and there was a lot of blood. A lot of it. Like, it was almost like that time that Mommy had a little cut in the kitchen and there was a lot of blood. A lot. My dad's a doctor. He even said there was a lot of blood.
Did you say your mother hurt herself in the kitchen?
Oh, it was a little cut from day one cooking. That was a long time ago.
She didn't cut herself in the same way.
Cover
the bases.
No, it was on her left hand. That's it. Kind of more on the palm. But right now her arthritis is pretty bad. So I wish Mommy would play with me more. She's always been there.
How long have you been in bed?
Most of the day. Her arm really hurts. Very bad. Very bad.
I'm gonna move some of these. What do you call it? It's a rose bush, but it's rose bush.
Yeah.
So you gotta poke the rose bush with a stick, you know, push some of the foliage out of the way, see if there's anything big or sharp in there.
No, but you see some of the branches on the inside are really gnarled. And you get probably a lot of little scratches if you film today.
Yeah.
Christian actually opens up the window and calls out, "Coffee's ready."
Drop the stick, walk out.
He sits you guys in there. That was it. I was talking to my wife about you telling me about this family, the villa, and she had something upstairs. I'll go around and get it. Okay, he leaves.
I'm gonna get a kitchen knife and hide it in her napkin in my lap.
How are you going to do this without the little girl watching you?
I don't know.
She is now following you.
Oh, okay, sure. Human shield it is. Psychology on the little girl. Does she seem scared or off or anything like that?
Look, if you want a knife, all you have to do.
Agnes is getting nowhere.
If you want a knife, all you have to do is ask me. I got about 20 concealed knives on me at all times.
Got one. I've actually got one in my purse. I would just rather not use, a foreign knife. Rather use one at the scene of the crime. It helps when you're making your alibi. You claim, he attacked me, I had to grab something to defend myself. It's less convincing when it's a knife you brought with you.
He comes back down and he's got a letter in his hand. He's kind of waving it like, ha, this. I completely forgot about this. It's a letter written in French, and it is specifically addressed to the occupants of the house, not to any person in particular, like not to the Lorraines. And it was sent from Switzerland, from a town called Loisang.
Does the message say en route soon?
No, it's quite long. It's eloquently written. It's to whom it may concern. I realize that I am a complete stranger, and that this letter may well mean nothing to you. My name is Edgar Wellington, and I am researching the history of a statue known most.
Willingdon or Wellington?
Wellington. The history of a statue known most commonly as a Sedevkar simulacrum. I recently came into possession of an old scroll, which presents an intriguing description of the item. This piqued my interest, and I am now endeavoring to trace the simulacrum. My search has led me to your address. My name is probably meaningless to you, and the name of the item itself might be meaningless too. But through my researches, I have learned that the last recorded resting place of the piece of art was in the house that occupied your land in the late 18th century. The statue was a unique Arabian artifact, lost during the events of 1789. Its last owner was a German nobleman who once lived where you live today. Please, I ask that if you have heard any local stories regarding this item, or maybe found any traces of the old house and its possessions on your land, which might have a clue as to the eventual fate of the object. Would you be so kind to write to me with a summary of the information? I apologize for the rather strange nature of my request, but I feel that I should pursue whatever leads remaining to me. I hope that you will not go to too great a length regarding this. Yours most sincerely, Edgar Wellington. The Lorraines will explain to you that the letter was quite meaningless to them, and it came about 6 months ago. They were meaning to send a reply back, but they just never got around to it.
It seems like he's saying that this might be some artifact buried under your house somewhere. Have you ever looked around?
We've never seen anything around our house that seemed to be from an old man. I mean, it just seemed like a normal house to us.
Anything in the basement?
This house doesn't have a basement.
Oh, well, according to the old floor plan you found in the back of the National Library, apparently the manor house this building was built on had a basement.
It did.
It might still exist.
Well, I guess we can
explore it.
That sounds amazing. I'll have to tell the wife about this. This could be newsworthy indeed. And then there's a scream.
Okay. Just before Scream, one last try at the psychology. Finally, is he nuts?
He's normal. He's a man of science and a doctor. He's actually intrigued about this.
Right.
And then the scream.
You actually hear a scream from the kitchen. While you've been talking, Colette had actually walked off. And as the dad bolts up into the kitchen and his daughter screams, he sees that she has spilt the rest of the coffee all over her left arm.
Are they all left arms?
Yes.
He bodily picks her up, grabs a towel, runs to the washroom, and pulls up the sleeve and just starts rubbing it, drying it, and trying to get some burn lotion all over it. And she's sobbing,
Running it under a faucet, basically.
and just the skin is swelling and red. And anybody roll a medicine check?
Sure. I can roll first aid to try and help though. I succeed.
Okay.
42 out of 60.
You help with trying to cool
While
it.
he's running it underwater, I will grab the appropriate materials to treat a burn
You no
wound.
longer have to pay.
This is a severe burn. Like, this is not a burn coffee should give.
Oh, injuries become a lot more severe and they all happen on the left arm.
It takes some time, but the father finally manages to calm down the child and get it to a point where she's no longer
Here,
screaming.
quickly, take this cocaine. 1920s.
He does give her a little bottle of
Children's cough
something
syrup
that
had
does
cocaine
calm.
in it. Soothing syrup for teething children of about very young teething children was cocaine.
You actually see 2 bottles of it.
Okay.
One labeled for personal use. Daddy's only. Dad leads her upstairs.
Daddy, daughter, okay.
He's like, well, okay, aside from how bad that was, it's about time for dinner. The roast should be ready. Let's all eat. He goes up and brings down the wife, and they're all able to sit down and have a meal. What you do notice, as she comes down,
Psychology on the life. Oh, man!
I've heard so much about you so far, and it'll be wonderful that if there's some crazy thing under this house, or an intention.
I'm going to make a wild call here. The left arm of the statue is in the basement.
Quite possible.
You also
I can't wait till we find the place that has the head of the statue where everyone's just got bullet wounds in their skull.
You do notice that she has crippling arthritis in her left. Like, she won't even move. She eats with her right hand intact. There's actually moments where her husband has to come over and help cut food. But aside from that, it's a lovely night.
I will mention it's 5 minutes to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then her last would be, did you go to the, have you been to the opera lately?
Recently.
Oh, there's a beautiful singer at the moment called Caterina Cavallero. Well, just an amazing singer. She was at the Paris Opera House.
Cavallero?
Yes. And it was the most beautiful, spellbinding performance I've ever seen.
Well, maybe, but I'm sure she's no Castiglione.
Anyway, we all finish up dinner. It's very nice. Father takes out a quick little floor plan of the house, and you can take out the map, and you try to plot out where the entrance to the basement might be. And
Is this a navigation roll?
you can make the roll if you want. I know none of you are trained in it.
I have some training in it. I pass.
You're actually able to point out a spot where the two maps coincide. The entrance to the basement is not actually in this house. It is in their backyard.
Alrighty.
But as that happens, you hear another scream from the girl.
The door?
From the girl.
Okay.
And she runs downstairs to her mom, cradling her around the chair, so much that the actual chair itself rocks. She's like, Mommy, I saw a boogeyman. It was scary. And with that, we will end the session.
Ah, perfection. Just finished the notebook on the last night.
Don't forget the free check. Because I understand that there will be sessions where we don't make a lot of checks, and I still want you guys to have some character.
Alrighty, I have 12 into medicine now.
Be nice if I could stop rolling aught 3.
Why are you... That's karma for all the bad rolls you had earlier in the game. These were all the good rolls you should have gotten.
What do you mean karma? That's just straight bad.
It's reverse karma.
I'm very annoyed.
Have you gotten no skill points?
I've tagged 1. Persuade is the only thing that's raised so far. Not psychology.
Sorry, you said you got psychology or not?
Not psychology. I'm very annoyed. I tried to tag psychoanalysis again, my skill is 8, I rolled aught 3. I'm very annoyed about that.
Oh man!
Agnes refuses to learn how to comfort people.
She's not one of those dames.
Oh, I didn't roll for first aid. Yeah, I think so.
Oh man. I can't wait for the next Search Engage game because we got a succubus to deal with. Oh man. That whole last session was the greatest gong show in the history of our 13th age game so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. The elemental that ate 3 magic items is up there. I still rank that a bigger gong show.
Yeah.
You revealed yourself to the Iron Haunts, then you got a rank, blew your cover on a rank red.
Every bit of subterfuge we had was
Every
gone.
bit of subterfuge you could possibly have had
was gone. Striped clean from the record.
Burn it down. Do not pass go.
Mention that the character who has been the best at
Modern
subterfuge
players, that is time of the round.
has been
If you
the
have not
armored
finished your match,
cleric
proceed to the
who
further
has
results
no
to me.
business being stealthy in any way.
God, it's like when my barbarian aced a diplomacy check.
The barbarian aced every diplomacy check.
I love that. He truly was the intellectual of his tribe.
He was Krog. Except Krog wasn't actually very sociable. He mostly relied on having a kick-ass spear for being sociable. And his ability to weaponize snappy bugs.
Oh man, the caveman, he was awesome.